a lot to get into. Definitely a lot to get into. A lot to talk about. And a lot of things. Okay? A lot of things that did not go well in this game for the Sixers. And we'll talk about it. But there's a couple things I would like to address. Okay? Yes. Was this a heartbreaker? It was. It was. They should have won this game. Without a doubt. I'm going to turn down my mic. Sorry about that. Yes, this game was a heartbreaker. There's no doubt about it. This team should have won this game, and they had a chance to do so. And I want to get into everything. I know that these are initial reactions, okay? I will be honest with you. My heart was broken in Game 2 with the way that things ended right there, okay? So I'm not feeling as emotional in regards to this game. It was a heartbreaker. It sucked, okay? But I know that so many people are upset, and they have every right to be that way, for sure, 1,000%. This team lost, okay? The Knicks outplayed the Sixers. That's the truth. They did. But the series ain't over. And that's really how I feel. I know that some of you guys may not want to hear that right now, but I'm telling you straight up, I still have faith. I'm going to go down with those words. I still have faith. Okay? That's where my head is. I'm still feeling okay. I am. I'm feeling totally fine. But this was a game that they should have easily won. And there's no doubt about it. But just because they're down 3-1 doesn't mean that the series is over. But let's talk about this game, okay? I will get to your comments. I don't even have your comments up here because I have things that I want to just get off my chest. And again, if you want to join the Discord server, you're absolutely more than welcome to do so. And we can talk about this, right? And you guys can come on. You guys, I'm going to give you a chance to vent. I know that we're still here in the heat of the moment, and we are not happy with the results, okay? Makes a lot of sense. It's fine. You know, I want to give you the floor, and I want to give you the chance to come forward and just spit out how you're feeling. But let's talk about this game, okay? The number one reason why you lost this game, Joel Embiid had 1 point in the fourth quarter. Joel Embiid, I'll say it again, had 1 point in the fourth quarter. 1 point. That was terrible. Awful. You don't win when your superstar only gives you 1 point in the fourth quarter. You don't win. Plain and simple as that. I don't care if he was getting doubled. I don't care if he was getting tripled. Yes. The Knicks did a good job at adjusting. Give the Knicks credit, actually. Because Tom Thibodeau said, you know what? Dante DiVincenzo's not having it. He's just not having a good night. I'm going to take DiVincenzo out of this game because Josh Hart is making a bigger impact and Precious Achiuwa is doing a very good job. Precious Achiuwa in this game had 4 blocks and had 2 assists as well. I know that he only gave you 1 point. Hart and Achiuwa combined gave you 5 points, but they got you 24 total rebounds combined. Anunoby in this game was awesome as well. Played very well in the fourth quarter. They matched up Embiid with size, and Anunoby, when he went up against Joel Embiid, just trapped him. They did everything that they could, sending everything to Joel's way. And that was strategy number 1. I give the Knicks credit for that. Joel did not step up, though. And that was the main reason why you lost that game. You had a chance. You were on the ropes. He had a phenomenal first quarter. And then the non-Embiid minutes happen. And the Sixers not able to do such a good job with that. How many years has that been going on? It's been going on forever. No doubt about it. But that happened again. And Paul Reed was a minus. Everybody on that bench today was a minus. The bench only gave you 6 points. Their bench outscored you 14-6. They went to an 8-man rotation. We went to a 9-man rotation. That matters, okay? Where else do I want to go? Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris. I'm not even going to go all off on him because at this point now, Nick Nurse can't play him. He is unplayable in the fourth quarter. No, but JJ, he gave you 10 points and he gave you 8 rebounds. It's the same story. Can't catch rebounds when they matter the most. I was shocked that he kept Tobias Harris out there. Nick Nurse today, flat out F in that second half. But, again, let's be real. I'm going to say this again. Joel Embiid did not show up in that fourth quarter. He came up small. He came up small. I don't want to say that he didn't show up, but he really had a chance to give the Sixers points when they really needed them, and he was awful today. Absolutely awful in that fourth quarter. Tyrese Maxey wasn't his best either. 43 minutes, 23 points, 6 assists. He was not shooting the ball efficiently. Part of that was because the Knicks did a good job at blitzing him. He had a chance to hit a wide open three, didn't hit it. That would have tied the game. They took so many threes. They settled for threes. Larry even said it in the chat. They settled for a lot of threes, and they just couldn't make shots. Sometimes it's a make or miss league. But when you miss 11 straight field goals down the stretch, and your last field goal was with 5:47 to go, that's a heartbreaker. That right there is the definition of a heartbreaker. And the Knicks were just sending so many people to the glass, just getting rebounds. Didn't matter if shots were going in or not. Give Thibodeau credit. I have to say that again. Give Tom Thibodeau credit. This narrative that the Sixers may lose in the first round and it's a bad year, I go back and forth with it right now, and maybe we can talk about this another day. But people are already, I see a lot of even Sixers fans in people's chats on all these platforms saying that the Sixers didn't have a good season because they lost in the first round. Not there, man. I actually still believe that not only can we make this a series, I still believe that we can win this. I do. I really do. But I'm not even but even not just that, if the Sixers do end up losing in the first round, I still think that with the way that the chips fell, this should have been a second or even a third round matchup. I heard DJ in the chat, and like, I love DJ. Shout out to DJ. Seriously, he does an awesome job. Oh, well, the Sixers should have just played against the Celtics. Not there, man. I'm just not there. Okay? But all of you are more than welcome to come on and call me out if I'm wrong for feeling this way. And you all can talk about Daryl Morey. You can talk about Joel Embiid all you want. Joel Embiid sucked in that fourth quarter. He was terrible. Absolutely terrible. He really was. No doubt about it. He has to be on his A game in order for them to win. But with that being said, Tobias played bad once again, and Nick Nurse did not make the adjustments. The people that are saying that Nick Nurse is like Doc Rivers, I'm not there yet either. I'm not. He did not have a good game, though. I will say that. Nick Nurse was terrible today. He was terrible today. He really was. Lowry gave you 7 points. He tried to fight through some physicality. I actually thought that he didn't play terrible. I didn't think he played bad, though. I wish that the target of that fourth quarter was for them to foul out Josh Hart. They had a chance to do it. Hart was getting foul calls, and they weren't taking him seriously. He played 46 minutes. Anunoby played 47. That was the difference. Those two guys there hurt you. OG Anunoby and Josh Hart hurt you. And yes, Jalen Brunson was phenomenal today. He was. But the guys that stepped up for him were Hart and Anunoby. And when Jalen Brunson is giving you a superstar type of a performance, that's enough for them to win. That's enough for them to win. 16 points for OG, 3 blocks on the defensive side. And again, he played really good defense on Joel. But Embiid also was not being as aggressive as he should have been. I can't believe the thing that shocks me was I said that Achua was going to have a hard time blocking Joel. But the Knicks were smart. And they decided, you know what, we're not even going to bring in Hardenstein back into the game. We're going to make Joel try to beat us. If he's making jump shots, we're going to put wings on him. And it worked. And they trapped him, and nobody else could step up. They said anybody else but Joel Embiid. And today it worked. I wish that they would have put in campaign and taken out Tobias Harris. I don't know if that would have made a difference. Maybe. But Nick Nurse should have tried that. But the number one reason why you lost that game is because Joel Embiid did not step up. I'm not putting Tyrese Maxey off the hook either. I did think that Tyrese Maxey should have gotten some foul calls, but it was being fair on both sides. It really was. This was a fair game on an even playing field. The Knicks outplayed the Sixers. They shot themselves in the foot at the end. That's the truth. And that is what happened. That third quarter. Shall we talk about that third quarter? Sixers go off on this big run. They start off on a 12-2 run. What happens from there? What happens from there? Let's go into the third. Maxey makes a layup, or actually makes a 12-foot jumper. Embiid makes one. Maxey makes another. Okay, all of a sudden, it's a 61-51 ball game. Brunson makes this 17-foot pull-up jumper, and then he just takes over. Oubre makes 2 free throws. Brunson then makes another 19-foot pull-up jumper, and he was just hitting shots. Brunson was taken over in that third quarter, and they let him have his way. They did. They absolutely did. DiVincenzo made a big shot as well. He made 2 big threes in a row. Got to give him credit for that. Other than that, he was really bad. He actually scored 8 straight points, if I remember correctly. So he took over from the last 3 minutes of that third quarter. But even still, Tibbs had literally the balls to bench him. And give Tibbs credit for that. Tom Thibodeau outcoached Nick Nurse. I'm not there to compare the guy, though, to Doc Rivers. I'm just not there. We were unfortunate to play the New York Knicks in the first round, and we knew that from the start. We knew that from the start. We had to play the Miami Heat first to avoid this play-in tournament, and they were dealing with a lot of injuries too. I'm not excusing the Sixers. It's just how it was. Okay? So, if we're looking at the season right now, and the series, again, is not over. Yes, they lost this game. Yes, it was tough. Yes, it was heartbreaking. I totally get it. There were even more Knicks at the Wells Fargo Center today than Sixers fans. That was actually the way that it was, too, a couple of nights ago, but nobody really wanted to talk about it then. But now that becomes a talking point now because they lost. I'm just saying that as tough as it was today, as much as it sucked, okay, I still have optimism. This Knicks team did not blow out the Sixers. Did they outplay them at the end? Yes, they did. They absolutely did. But these games have been so close. They've been so close. And if Embiid, I don't know how it's going to be moving forward. I know that the idea of winning 3 in a row is hard. And yes, you have to win 2 in New York. I get that. Yes. Embiid with 1 point, though, in the fourth quarter. If that happens again, I will be shocked. I will be shocked. And missing their last 11 field goals, part of that was because of the Knicks defense. I give them credit for that. They out-defended the Sixers, and they out-rebounded them when they had to. Even without Robinson, even without Bojan Bogdanovic. Yes. I just don't see a world where Joel Embiid gives you 1 point in the fourth quarter again. That's me, though. It could happen. I would be shocked. Especially if it happens in a Game 5. But this game was a game that they should have won. They absolutely should have won this game. Easily. But they just didn't take the bull by the horn at the end. They did not do that. And if you guys want to come on the Discord, if you guys want to talk to me, if you guys want to rant, again, by all means, please join the Discord server. I have this up for a reason. I have guys that come on here, and I feel like some of you guys would benefit if you just talked. I really do. I know some of you don't want to talk, and that's totally fine, but for those of you that do, you're more than welcome to do so. I will read your comments in just a couple of seconds. I don't even have them up here because I don't even want to get distracted. Because I have thoughts that I wanted to say, and I wanted to talk about it. Did they get out-rebounded in the fourth quarter? Absolutely. Did they wet the bed? Absolutely. Did Joel Embiid stink in the fourth quarter? Absolutely. They should have won this game. You heard it from me. They ain't done, though. They're not. They're not done. All right, let's get to the chat. And let's have you guys. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on here, man. Let's talk about it. View in the live control room. We'll do that now. Okay. Wow, we have a lot of people here. We got 38 views, already 9 concurrent viewers. Okay, let's talk about this. Hey, JJ, I love you, bro. I appreciate you for coming on here, RC. I really do. Just simply have to figure out how to go on the road and win one. The playoffs are no excuse territory. Katie says, hey there, JJ. What do you think went wrong? I just talked about it. Bob, I appreciate you being the voice of reason, JJ, during this rough time. Yeah, I mean, I'm like, to be fair, man, like I seriously was heartbroken after game 2. Game 2 broke me. Okay, I was down and out after game 2 because that was a collapse. Okay, was this more of a collapse compared to that? No. Okay, no. I just know And it's hard. I know. I know it's hard. I just still have optimism. Because I just don't think that this team is just going to flat out go down without a fight. I don't. I don't know what's going to happen. But I'll tell you one thing. If you think that Joel Embiid is going to give you 1 point in that fourth quarter again, and then in any other game during the series, even if it's game 5, game 6, game 7, I would be shocked. I would be so shocked. That's how I feel. They missed 11 field goals in a row. Embiid was not being aggressive. Embiid sucked. I'm going to continue to say it again. Embiid was terrible in that fourth quarter. A no-show. I don't usually say that. I don't usually say that about star players, and that feels really weird. But I'm just saying, though, that you guys have every right to feel the way that you feel. Mad, sad, angry. It ain't over. The Knicks didn't just blow out the Sixers. Now, let's be fair where fair is fair. Jalen Brunson had a phenomenal game. He did. Jalen Brunson has been playing very good basketball now. And that raises the question, what do you do defensively for a change? Do you throw the kitchen sink at Jalen Brunson and make his teammates beat you? I still don't know if I trust that philosophy. But it does bring up an interesting question there. Buddy Hield didn't even play for you today. The other thing I am a little bit worried about, though, when I do think about it from this perspective, is this. Will Tobias Harris actually be benched in games 5, 6, if it goes to a 6, and if potentially it goes to a game 7? Don't know. I don't know. That's on Nick Nurse. Is he going to have the balls to do that? I don't know. All right, let's look at some more comments. And again, keep commenting down below. You know, other people have called me out saying that, why are you feeling like this right now? I'm just speaking the truth. I'm giving you my real thoughts. I'm giving you my honest opinions. I may wake up tomorrow and say, damn, I feel different. Because I'm going to go back and watch this game. I'm going to literally go back and watch this game, put myself through it, and see how I feel. If I feel differently about it. But no. It's fine with me. Josh Harris has something to do. He needs to sell. Morey needs to go. The series ain't over, my guy. It's just not over. But kick, cry, and scream all you want, because you have a right to feel that way. You do. JJ, they're not rebounding. And I knew that they didn't have a chance this tie. Rebounding is a problem. Rebounding is definitely a problem. I can't deny that. Rebounding has been a problem. That is something that they have to do a better job at. I also just don't think that they have the personnel to do that. I don't. But anything can happen. Anything can happen. Is Brunson really going to go for 50 again? I don't know. Is Embiid going to go for 50 again? I don't know. Tyrese Maxey could go for 50. He could. It's still a series, though. It's been from a basketball perspective, this has been a great series. I think that this is what everybody wanted. A close series that's back and forth. This, honestly, in my opinion, feels like it's at least not even a first-round matchup. It really does feel like it is at least a second or third-round matchup. I'm being honest. That's how I feel. seeing the Knicks win and taking over Drew Wells is getting me tight. And you have every right to feel that way. Absolutely. That should make you feel sad. That should make you feel angry. The fact that there were more Knicks fans that were in that building even this afternoon today, that should make you feel mad. But you know what? Now what we got to do is we got to give them that same energy when we go to MSG. That's all we got to do. We have to show up. But this team has to show up too. And it starts with Joel Embiid. I've given this guy praise when he deserves it. Today, he needs all the criticism for that fourth quarter. That was his worst performance in the fourth quarter. Arguably of his career. So. All right. What else do we got? Knicks will never win a championship, but they need to enjoy this tie. Yeah, they outplayed the Sixers today. They did. I give them credit for that. Jalen Brunson was phenomenal. I'm still shocked that Dante DiVincenzo didn't even play in the fourth quarter. I did not think Tibbs had the balls to do that, and he did. Same thing with Hardenstein. Hardenstein was getting rocked by Embiid, and now I'm curious if they're going to do what they did in this game in that fourth quarter, because that strategy worked. It did. If Robinson's not going to be able to go, maybe that's what we get. I just don't think that this team is going to go down. I really don't. I think that it's still going to go to 7. Let's think about it from this perspective. Okay. NBA referees. You know what the league wants. More games. They want more games. Because they pay for all these ads. They pay for all these sponsors. The refs, I also know, are going to be on our side too. They were on our side in Game 3. They were. We got some favorable foul calls. Sixers had opportunities to win this game, and they just let it slip out of their hands. Knicks had opportunities to win this game, and guess what? They took advantage. The better team won today. Does that mean that they're the better team, though, throughout these next 3 games? I still don't know. It's such a weird feeling, because you would think that because we're down 3-1, that I'd be feeling even more down. And I'm not. It's so weird. But yeah. Bob says, kind of seems like an alternate reality where the Knicks and Orlando Magic are good and we get first rounded. But again, now I'm raising the question, are we getting really first rounded? Or is this really what should have been a second round matchup? Any way you look at it, it stinks that we are down in this hole. Yes, it does. I'm not excusing today for what happened. But, again, we got a chance. And in the future, if you want to come on here, by all means, you're more than welcome to do so. All right? Maybe we'll go on tomorrow just to see how everybody's feeling. I'm sure that it's still not going to be a good feeling at all. But my biggest takeaways today are that Joel Embiid sucked in the fourth quarter, only gave you 1 point when he needed to give you more. They got out-rebounded when the target should have been take Josh Hart out of the game by getting him in foul trouble and getting him to foul out. He had 5 fouls with about 8:47 to go, and yet nobody could draw 1 foul. That's inexcusable. OG played very well today. They gave you 46 to 47 minutes. Was Embiid gassed a little bit? Maybe. But that's not an excuse. Not an excuse at all. The bench has to be better. The guys have to execute. They also miss wide open shots. Some nights those things hit. Other nights they don't. Today it didn't work out. That's another thing I got to point to because, let's be real, shots were falling in the last game. Tonight they were not. They were not falling. Embiid went 1 for 6 from 3. Lowry went 1 for 4. Maxey was 3 for 9. But their three-point shooting was not so good. And neither were the Knicks. It was more of a bully ball type of a thing. If the Sixers were in a boat, they wouldn't hit water if they fell out, says Chrissy. Or says Mike. Chrissy, what's up, Chrissy? We had plenty of chances to spread our lead, but we choked. And we did. And we failed. But I see all these content creators, and shout out to them. Like I really do love them. Like I appreciate them for like what they do. I'm just not there. I just don't think that they're done. If you're gonna ask me, are they gonna win the series? That I don't know. I just don't think that they're done. And let me have that mindset right now. You know, and then we assess it quarter by quarter, minute by minute, and then we see what happens. This may not age well. Whatever. But I respect this Philly fan. Thank you. Appreciate it, Joe. I really do. I appreciate it. The last thing I do want to say before I get on out of here, and again, you guys can come on and give your thoughts. By all means, this floor is open to all of you. Okay. Last thing I wanted to say. I'm looking at the stats right now. Oubre had big shots when they mattered. He had 19 points. He did some good things in that fourth quarter, I thought. Even though there's going to be people that are talking about like, oh, the plays that he didn't make. But the biggest problem that I had today that I haven't talked about is the points out in transition. This team, where they really lost the game, was in that second quarter. There were, even in the third quarter, when the Knicks had momentum. You know why they had momentum? Because the Sixers had 3 straight turnovers in a row. There was a play where Joel Embiid had to give it up to Tyrese Maxey. It was supposed to be a handoff. Maxey was in the corner, and Maxey was supposed to be there, and Joel and him had a miscommunication. You know what I mean? Like, that's really where they actually lost this game, because that gave the Knicks momentum. And then DiVincenzo hits these 8 points in a row, gives you 2 threes, and it's not just Jalen Brunson now. Now Dante DiVincenzo is cooking. And without that miniature run, the Knicks, I don't even know if they win this game. I'm being real. I'm being absolutely real with you. That run right there was critical. Those turnovers that they made in that third quarter specifically were so critical. Lowry had a bad pass. Threw the ball away. You know? So, that's where I truly do believe that they lost this game. That third quarter, they slipped up. In the fourth quarter, Embiid needs to be better. Embiid needs to give you more points. And he needs to fight through the double and the triple teams. I don't care if he's on one leg or if he is, or literally if, like, whatever he's going through. He looked like he was healthy today. And if he's playing, he's playing. That's the truth. He's playing. We have every right to be critical. When he plays well, we give him his praise. When he doesn't play well, just like anybody else, all bets off. So. Chrissy says this game of runs did not fall in our favor. Nope, they did not. JJ, I'm glad that you're more positive than how I feel right now. I'm more positive than probably however a lot of people feel right now. I just know that the Knicks didn't blow out the Sixers. And the Sixers did shoot themselves in the foot at times. And the Knicks got life because of that. I don't know if the Sixers for 3 games in a row can beat themselves or cannot beat themselves at their own game. That I don't know. I just know that this is not going to go down without a fight. Okay? I'm being real. DJ told me after game 2, said, Jason, you can feel sad, you can feel mad, you can feel however you want. The series ain't over. And I'm coming in with that same energy. The series ain't over. Okay? That's the truth. Oh, all right. I love you guys. I really do. And I appreciate you all so much for being here. I am going to go on for the Phillies game tomorrow night. Okay? We got a West Coast game at 9:38 p.m. Eastern time. I know for all you Phillies freaks, just like me, you know, that is freakish behavior for sure. But we will be doing that game Tuesday. We got game 5. Okay? We got game 5. It's going to be a big day, and we'll see how things go. I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. We'll get a temperature check just to see how everybody's doing. But right now, as disappointing as this game was, I still think that there's something left. I do. All right. Love you guys. Catch you on the next one. Good night. Thanks so much for coming on, Dartmouth.